We all know the classic Super Mario 64. It has been popular and known in the fanbase for such a long time that it will probably remain important forever. But what is the best way to experience the game nowadays? Well, there are actually quite a lot of options and they look and function better than the original. So, let's have a look at those. Super Mario 64 is a 3D action-adventure platformer game released for the Nintendo 64 in 1996. This game was one of two, 3 in Japan, launch titles for the Nintendo 64, along with Pilot Wings 64, which helped drive initial sales of the console. As of January 7, 2017, it has sold over 11 million copies worldwide, and is marked as the best-selling Nintendo 64 game of all time. Being the first 3D Mario game, it has introduced many moves that would be used in almost every later Super Mario title. And because it has been around for such a long time, almost everyone on the planet knows about this important step in Nintendo history. It made the groundwork for all the titles that would come after, and really established the possibility of a 3D Super Mario game. Before this time, we only saw 2D side-scrolling adventures that used pixel art. There wasn't a single 3D model on screen. However, Super Mario 64 is quite old now. The visuals are nowhere near as good as modern titles, which is understandable. But nowadays, with the internet and the might of modding and hacking, you can create some pretty cool things. So today we will look at 3 cool fan remakes of the game to see if any of these are the ultimate way of re-experiencing this old classic. We will start out by looking at a rather simple one, a ROM hack that increases both the resolution and frame rate of the original. Now, Mario 64, as with most N64 titles, ran at 320 x 240, and typically at 30 FPS, but in some areas it dropped to 20. This is incredibly bad for today's standards. Most of you would actively avoid anything 480p or below, so something like this looks terrible. But luckily enough, with today's graphics cards you can do some cool things, and this ROM hack makes use of that. This is because the game goes from this slow mess to glorious 4K 60 FPS. The game runs like a dream and the high frame rate makes platforming even easier. Besides that, you get the original experience. All the assets are still the same after all. This limits the visuals to an extent though, but it does a good job overall. Now, if you really care about the original look of the game, but just want better performance and a more steady frame rate, then this is perfect. It's the same in every way, but is also limited in a lot of ways because of the used textures. Another problem is how demanding it still is. You need some decent firepower in your PC to emulate this game. The same goes for any hacked emulation device like a 3DS, Switch, or even PS Vita. It needs to have some beef in order to handle it. So it's a good option, but also has its downsides. Luckily enough, this isn't our only option, because there's one genius who decided to rebuild the entire world of Super Mario 64 using assets from Super Mario Galaxy. It's essentially a hack of Super Mario Galaxy 2 that remakes levels from Super Mario 64 and the DS version using the Galaxy 2 engine. It isn't an exact remake since Galaxy 2 doesn't have the same assets, of course. So many concepts have been altered to make the game more enjoyable and different than its N64 and DS counterparts. Now, the game is already quite far in its development and multiple levels are already finished. However, I'm not sure when it will be ready. As far as I can find, there's no release date whatsoever. It might even be that the project has been abandoned. However, looking at the footage of the game, you can see that places like bob-omb Battlefield look amazing and very similar to the original. In some ways, it has even improved upon the original. There's a lot more stuff, and all of it is way higher quality. If you put the game on 4K 60 FPS mode here, then it will make a huge difference. The assets look a lot better and can make good use of this upgrade. Besides that, even the effects and all the enemy models are completely updated to the end Wii era, looking fantastic in this ROM. Now, if you've never played Super Mario 64 before, then I wouldn't really recommend this game, because it's not the same. If you want the original feel and a true first experience, then go play the 4K 60fps hack I mentioned earlier. However, if you already went through the entirety of Mario 64, then this might be a fun throwback, especially if you like the Galaxy games as well. Personally, I would love to try out this game because it looks really good and extremely fun. We will just have to hope that it ever gets finished. And if not, then we can always give his holiday edition called Super Mario Galaxy 64 Holiday Special a go. Now for our last amazing looking Super Mario 64 hack. We have one that was completely built up from the ground. It's a recreation of Super Mario 64's first level, Bob-omb Battlefield. This time made in Unity, and it's all in HD now. All the arts and animations were done by the creator himself, with exception of the Mario, Goomba and Power Star mashes, which are ripped from Super Mario Galaxy. A large portion of the sounds are from existing Mario games, and some are from freesound.org. In a lot of ways, it's a new game. A ton of graphics are new and updated to look good for modern standards, and even sound design has been improved a ton. Out of all the games I've showed so far, this is certainly the best looking one, although the maps aren't as filled as in the Super Mario Galaxy ROM hack. And sadly enough, as far as I know, there's no 4K mode. The highest you can go is 1080p 60fps, which is still quite good. Especially the effects seen in the game, like the explosions and bubbles, look amazing. And by the looks of it, you can also control the camera normally now. It's a free one instead of the normal different angle styles. All of this combined already makes it stand out for sure, and it seems to be quite a good pick for replaying the game. However, there's one problem. Nintendo found out about this project, and now the following message is on the creator's website. Note, this project is not currently available for download due to a request by Nintendo. So clearly they wanted to stop the spreading and probably even the whole development process of this game. But Nintendo does this a lot, so we could have expected this. Now clearly all these projects are and look amazing. People have spent hours upon hours creating them, and for that, we should all be grateful. I will put links to all the projects below, and would love to give a special thanks to the creators. Kaza for the original high-res version, me the Mario Man for the Super Mario Galaxy version, and Roy Stan Ross for the Unity version. Be sure to check them out, because maybe they will finish the game and make something great out of it, without Nintendo getting in the way. Thanks for watching everybody, I hope you enjoyed. If you want to watch more videos, then click those annotations on the screen right now. And if you want to subscribe, then click the bell and click the subscribe button. Be sure to do that. And we'll see you all in the next video.